so this is bringing a whole new set of challenges for me. I'm going to show you this process in pieces and different videos as I progress my way through it, but today's journey we're going to look at the background. I'm going to pull back the curtains and let you see some of the challenges of the creative process and some of the mistakes that I've made, and if you hang around with me to the end, I'm going to bring it all together where we're going to talk about how this mural was in desperate need of its creator, the person who had the initial vision for it, and how you and I were all in desperate need of our creator too. Thank you for hanging out with me. Let's get started. I began this project in the summer of 2025. I worked back and forth with the librarian and settled on this layout of the books. I then took that and drew the outline of it on the wall. This whole process in and of itself was its own project. At this point, my work was done and I passed the baton back to the school. After a few months, I was approached to come back and finish it. We begin our journey together right here. When this bookshelf mural made its way back to me, I was having a really hard time seeing what it was going to be while looking at what it currently was. I had a vision for it, but when this thing was left of its own devices, it went on a bit of a tangent. So many may see it as a waste of time, and it may not make sense, but I, as the creator, chose to reset it and wash it back to white. You can see it's not perfect, and some of the evidence of its history is still peeking through. On a side note, I realized I look like I broke out of prison. I found that outfit at a thrift store and was super excited to try it, and it just didn't work for me. You'll notice I don't wear it in any of the other clips in this video. Anywho, while this was out of my hands, other non-related events brought me to see it a few times, and I was able to watch its progression apart from me. The heart of the creator is saddened when its creation chooses to continue on its own. But deep down I knew this thing was going to make its way back to me. I can't really explain it, but I knew. So here's what it looked like when it left me, while it was away, and where we are now. Now that I've cleaned it up and washed it white as snow, I can take it and do my thing with it. I have to start with the drawing's foundation, which is the background. I have to be really careful that I do this in the correct order, or I'll mess something later that I already built up and create a lot of rework and frustration. This part isn't glamorous. Actually, I'd say none of this is glamorous. If you watched me in person, you'd see me making an absolute fool of myself the entire time. Remembering my paintbrush after I climbed all the way up on the platform, then remembering the paint once I climbed back up there with my paintbrush, or the time I went to paint with my dabber that was at home 7 miles away. This part is very basic and anyone could do it. As the creator, I know even this step took a lot of care and attention and had more to it than what you see here. I made a special trip to the hardware store just for this one paint color. I handpicked that color out amongst an entire wall of swatches, and noticed the size of that paint can. That's real cute. Crazy Me thought that was enough for practically 3 coats of paint, and it was not. It was enough for barely 1. So back to the store I went for the full gallon I should have gotten in the first place. Now I get to introduce to you my fancy new paintbrush. I call this my dabber. I'm about to start blending the background, but I want to test this thing out first to see what it does, so I can make adjustments if I need to. You could totally do this on any wall in your house. If you can't choose between 2 different paint colors, just use them both and use a dabber and see how cool it looks. If you're interested in seeing me do this to a wall in my house, just comment below. I'll provide a link in the description below for my dabber. I'm going to pull back the curtain for a moment and show you my biggest, most time-consuming error with this project so far. Everything you are seeing me do right now is a complete waste of time. You see, I know something very important about shading color that I'm not actually putting into practice here. When you want a very dark tone of a color, you can't use solid black. It leaves the painting looking very flat and fake. But here's where being the creator and this being my baby plays a big role. If this wasn't something I was personally invested in and something I didn't have a hope and a future for in spite of its rebellion, I'd have just left it. But this mishap doesn't work with the overall vision for the painting. I can't leave it like this. Out of my care for the creation, I need to come in, fix this, and work it back up. I go back to what I know to be true. Have you ever done something stupid because you stepped away from what you knew to be true just to realize that was actually really dumb? Once the light bulb turns on, I use both the base color and the blackish color together to create variations in shading of the base. This is another process of building up. Even though this thing isn't done yet, and it has caused me grief in its moments of rebellion, I still find great pleasure in being a part of its development. I, a human, am a very scatterbrained, clumsy, forgetful creator. But the creator, yours and mine, is absolutely perfect in all of his ways. When others may want nothing to do with the mess and the chaos, he is waiting for an invitation to come back and do a work to bring it back to life. When others won't take the time to build it up from such a minuscule, humble beginning, he finds great pleasure in investing in the tiny details that make it grow. When others may validate or ignore the mistake, he sees the problems it will cause, intervenes, and fixes it from the base, making it more in line with his vision, which is good. And as the creation starts to take form, allowing itself to be formed to the image of the creator can then put within the creation everything it needs to flourish. I am not a perfect creator, but I am guided by and belong to the absolute perfect creator. He knows my weaknesses and figures that into the bigger picture he's calling me forth to bring into the world way before I even start. He doesn't write me off because I screw up. He calls me forth knowing I'm gonna screw up. In Jeremiah 29, God is telling his chosen people, through the prophet Jeremiah, that he knows the plans he has for them, a plan for a hope and a future. He is telling them this as they are facing the natural consequences of their complete rebellion, consequences that are about to last a long time. And yet he still provides them with hope and reassurance and a promise of deliverance and provision. This is exactly where I am at with this drawing. It rebelled a bit while it was away from me. The rebellion is leaving some marks that we haven't fully overcome yet. But I, as its creator, have a plan for it, a hope and a future that has not yet come to completion. I'm sticking right here by it to see it through, when others would have chosen to discard it. Your creator is longing to be reunited with you. If you are already his, bought by the blood of his son Jesus, which is one and the same with him, he is still longing to shape his vision in you, wanting in every moment for you to give yourself freely to the plan he has had for you from the beginning. And if his spirit isn't yet dwelling within you, he is desperately wanting it to be. The only barrier is your rebellion, and the only solution is repentance. But then joy comes in the morning. I know this message is for someone out there, and if all this work was for only one person to receive this message, it would all be worth it, and I would count it all as joy. We are just a piece of creation in desperate need of our Creator. Thank you for joining me today. I'm so excited to have my first video done. Like and subscribe so you get notified when my next video comes out. I've enjoyed our time together. I'll catch you next time.